Welcome back to Active Sports TV as we get into another one. And this one right here, this is really close to home. So y'all better stay in tune. Man, from beginning to the end, it might get a little emotional. You might see me a whole nother side of me. I'm warning you now. Like I said, we're going to get into this Paul George leaving us high and dry, man. Going up there to Philly, bro. Pretty much wrecking my franchise and wasting our time for the last 5 years. All Clipper fans know right now it just passed one of the worst anniversary dates of us signing Paul George and giving up Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. 6 picks. We was also going to get Julian Williams that it was also that year as well. Another Jew that OKC got as a gift due to us being and having to make every move possible to get the claw. And I'm not going to sit here, man, and I'm not going to act like I wasn't ecstatic. And even at this moment in time, let me be clear. We needed to do everything at that point possible to acquire Paul George, to try to rebuild our franchise after Lob City. So I understood exactly what Steve Ballmer was thinking, the late great Jerry West and Lawrence Frank and all of the other collective minds that was up there that made that decision. So I'm not going to kill the front office for doing what was necessary in order for us to be able to battle it out in LA, which you guys already know, them boys on the other side, you know, that wear purple and, yellow gold. I mean, them guys who stay giving us the blues, who always want to throw up these things in our face, rightfully so. They are the cream of the crop in LA. And me being a Clipper fan and being from Los Angeles, not gonna be in denial of that. But it doesn't change my fandom. Clip City, Clip City. Not to digress and get back on Paul George and get back to the history of why this hurt so bad. Being that Paul George is also a native of Palmdale, which I've lived and have family and close ties to, it was a real heartwarming feeling to get all of these Cali boys on my team. Kawhi being from the IE, Moreno Valley, we had acquired recently my boy Lou House, Westbrook. Shout out to Westbrooks. Shout out the senior Westbrook, know him very well. Raynard know him very well. Went to school with him. These guys, staples, natives, never will get no disrespect out of me. Also, James Harden, another native, Fear the Beard. Last year, with Kawhi playing the games that he played in the regular season, really going over and beyond to prove that he's trying to elevate us to get us to the championship. We know his situation. We're not gonna kill him about what he can't control. Played 68 games last year. Made second all team. I believe defense and offense. I may be mistaken, but I know he made either one or two. But one of them, it was second all team. I'll definitely, I'm not perfect. Hit me in the comments, correct me. You know what I mean? That's what it's for. But not to digress. He proved that he was an elite talent, top 10 in the league, worth every penny. For our superstar, Kawhi, who has been battling injuries as is obvious to the world, everyone to know. In the middle of the season last season, we decided to give him an extension. But in that extension, Kawhi did not get a max. He did only get 3 years, which was a team-friendly deal. Also, take into account what was coming in the future with the new NBA collective bargaining agreement with CJ McCullough, from New Orleans Pelicans, is the president of decided and agreed upon this new collective bargaining agreement, which now put teams that seems to, like myself, have no problem. My team have no problem, unlike the Lakers, paying over the luxury tax to acquire the talent needed to assist in spots where we may lack thereof to build a championship team. Before this up and coming year, the Clippers, Golden State, all of the top tier teams who had the financial benefits to spread their wings a little bit further will be able to acquire more free agents. They was able to, things wouldn't have to be so on the dollar as of now going into this next year in the NBA. Also during that time, we was approaching, obviously, Paul George contract expiring and trying to work on an extension with him. Now, we all know Paul George over the history has been a complimentary piece that has tried to elevate us in ways when he can. During the regular season, he has a nice average. Sometimes he has also carried us on his back. Paul George also has been the guy advocating and also speaking on certain things that he felt that we needed to get over the hump, which got Russell Westbrook on the team, which got John Wall on the team, which I wasn't a fan of. I believed at that time we should have kept Isaiah Hartenstein, and as you see how things are turning out, OKC got another pick, another jewel, another valuable part to their quest to what they got going, due to us not capitalizing and sealing the deal on certain individuals when we had the opportunity. But not to digress, not to, like I said, not to, get all in my feelings and all of that, because like I said, we done a lot for Paul George. I'm just telling you this story because we done a lot for Paul George, and Paul George has been paid very well. Now let's also take into account that even though Kawhi's availability has not been up the par to where we have wanted him to be. We have to say the same thing with Paul George. Paul George, throughout these 5 years, has only given us maybe 60 games in the regular season twice, if I'm not mistaken. And I know for sure one of those years was last year because he played majority of the regular season games and he did carry us throughout the regular season, even battling throughout injuries and fighting throughout injuries to get on the court. I admire that. I give him the utmost respect for that, but we have to tell the story in full completion. We have to be totally honest, and we have to point out that Paul George has just been dealing with injuries and has been sitting out just as much as Kawhi when it comes to playoff games and play-ins, out of his control. But I do have to take note that we had our team pretty much devastated with both players being out during the year that Kawhi was rehabbing his knee, his ACL, and during that time Paul George had also went down with an injury, which had our team pretty much Terrence Mann, Rocco, Nico, all of the guys, Marcus Morris at the time, all of these guys came together, rallied together, and was able to push us to at least over 500. I believe that year we was 42-40 to get in the play-in, and I believe that was the 2022-2023 season, where we got to the play-in and battled it out with Minnesota. Paul George came back from injury. We fell short of that game, and then the following game we was getting ready for New Orleans. COVID. So being that it was COVID, I believe it was probably 2021, 2022 that year, when we pretty much lost due to the fact of both of our stars not being available and not being able to produce to get us throughout the playoffs. Come the next year, we have the same similar issue where we get there and we have these problems again where our main star is not available. But we still have Paul George. And during these times when we had just battled Utah and came back from a pretty much a 2-0 lead that they had on us, and we was pretty much on the way out, Paul George stepped up in Game 5 and gave us a lifeline and put up one of the best performances that I've seen him represent the red, white, and blue as a Clipper, and propelled us to at least be able to fight and be able to get the nod over these guys to head back to Los Angeles and get the job done. So this is the history of Paul George with us. And even though he had that heroic moment, we have to also take in account that we had Terrence Mann, who was the clutch star of that night. Paul George shined, no doubt, But we didn't get over the hump unless Terrence Mann had an out of mind experience. I mean, out of body experience, and become something that I don't know if he even knew he can become that night. Put up 39 points and basically tortured Rudy Gobert to propel us to go and see Phoenix in the Western Conference Finals. And then, not to beat a dead horse, we don't have a banner. So Paul George was not able to fulfill the deal. Even though Kawhi went down, he was not able to overcome that and show that he can be the dude to propel us and win a championship. Now we get all the way down to this contract year. You advocated to put Westbrook on the team when most of us did not want that. Because we knew with getting all of these point guards and not fulfilling what was the need of a reliable backup for Zubac and making sure we get more 3-and-D guys to complement Kawhi and you throughout the season to preserve your health. Instead, not me, myself, but the organization then go ahead and fulfill your request, get Russell Westbrook against some of their wishes. We don't have to point out names, but we all know that everybody that was in the front office was not happy about the Westbrook signing. We already had Terrence Mann, who has been poorly developed and has been pretty much stepped on due to the fact that we have these stardoms, this thing with stardom where we propel them to get the minutes regardless of proving worthy of it due to our players like Paul George, who wants to have his favorites along him and starting with him getting majority of the minutes. So we cannot say that the Clippers didn't go out their way to give Paul George everything that he said that he was going to need to become a champion. We went and got James Harden, another superstar player, to accompany Paul George so that he can have more help to give us over the hump. And what do Paul George do? Kawhi's not there due to injury, but we have Westbrook available. We have James Harden available. We have the great Paul George healthy. Paul George goes into the playoffs against Dallas and let Derrick Jones Jr. lock him up. A guy who has been a journeyman, who have worked, he has to put in an amazing time on his game to develop his defensive ability to be able to be that good. Beforehand, we knew nothing of him. But in the playoffs, where it counted most PG-13, or should we say playoff P, as you want to call yourself. What you go ahead and do, you laid another egg and let the Clipper fans down. Then all of these lies about how you want to stay a Clipper and how you want to make sure that you get a championship here and you want to win here and you like being close to home because your family is here, and all of these lies saying that you ain't gonna run from the grind, that you believe we had enough. We should have enough because we got everybody that you wanted. Correctly? Correct? So with that being said, when it came to an extension time, how if our star player who has done, you guys have done just enough. I mean, you haven't done any. No one has done more than the next. We have no banners. Kawhi take a pay cut because of his issues. He's the best player. You said that yourself. But you want the max? Injury history not available. When available, can't take the number one spot. Can't be the one to lead the troops. Playoff failure after playoff failure after playoff failure after playoff failure. Excuse. Doc Rivers, he got me playing like JJ Redick, coming off of pinned down screens, sitting in the corner. Sorry about that, guy. And then with that being said, Doc goes, you said that you have too much ball responsibility. You don't want to have the ball in your hand that much. You want to be able to have a creator create for you. So we go and get John Wall at the expense of losing Isaiah Hartenstein. And then we go and get two more point guards. Because John Wall didn't even work out. He pretty much got cut a month into the season after we did that. I ain't trying to cuss. I ain't trying to go there. After we did that dumb move. Two more point guards, and then you get and sign with Philly and tell us that we didn't give you what you wanted. We wasn't playing basketball the right way. You want to go somewhere else and play basketball the right way, but you want to go to Philly, the 76ers. What have they won? How do they play the right way? What is going on different over there, over here? Oh, I see what it is, Paul George. You've been exposed, Chief. It was always about the money. They say Kawhi, he robbing the Clippers. He's stealing money. He took a pay cut, knowing the NBA collective bargaining was coming. Reasonable. This is a man trying to at least complete what he set out to do. Regardless of him being all out at front and speaking to everybody and, being a people's person, what I admire is, regardless of the fact, a man sticking to his word and doing what he said that he was going to do. Physically, he may not be able to, but that's something that we will have to deal with. Right now, we believe that he can still do it. I believe he can still do it. Give him the money, but at least be reasonable. If you're not available, you have not done nothing for us, you should be giving us something back based upon all of what we have already given. The Max Chief? You the same dude said, Kawhi, he's number one, I'm number two. Paul George, number twos don't get the max without hardware. Where's our rings? Like, where's our banners? You had so many opportunities to prove to the front office, Clipper Nation, that you was worth the max. We complimented you. We're spending money, all of these, giving all of these different players all of these contracts, thinking that it's gonna better your game. It's gonna unleash something in you to prove to us that we can give you that. You're 34 years old, Chief. Philly is desperate as hell, bro. Y'all desperate. Y'all desperate as hell. Listen, I seen Boston go ahead and host the trophy up. Tatum Brown, Holiday, Porzingis. They nice. But Philly, y'all just don't know how dumb y'all look right now. Number two, boy, I can't wait for the season to start. We're going to get a lot of content. We're going to get a lot of content. Because if this ain't proved to y'all nothing else, that this man, Paul George, is absolutely scared of any adversity. He crumbles. Whenever he has to be the guy, whenever he has to do something, he's looking to point the finger at somebody else. But he want superstar treatment. Oh, but he want all of the popularity. Oh, but he want to be in the limelight all the time. He wants all of that until it's clutch time. Until it's put up or shut up time. He disappeared. Putting on vacation shirts at press conferences before you even lose in the series. Blaming coaches for everything. Turnover prone. Pointing the finger at the person that didn't make the mistake. This is Paul George. 2-12. 4 years. Good job, Philly. Good job, Sixers. Good job. Paul George, you weak, bro, for that. It's all good. Clip City gonna bounce back. Guess what? We still got James Harden. We still got Kawhi. We still got Zubac. We still got Terrence Mann. We still got Bones. We still got Norm. We still have, Nico coming back. Thank you, Philly. Y'all gave a core piece away to pick up Paul George. But I understand it's about stats. It's about flair. Y'all like the, swing, pull back, huh? Y'all like that? Well, you gonna get a lot of that. You gonna get a lot of that. The thing is, we're gonna see how much you really like it. Maxey, hey man, we shall see. But isn't it funny? If you going to Philly to be better, to play under a better system, to have more reliable players. Answer a question for me, Paul George. When the last time Embiid completed a season? How many playoff series have Embiid set out? Ask Tobias. Tobias is the worstest person in the world in Philly. Embiid, every playoff series, his toe, his ankle, his knee, he can't get through the season. The man missed all last season to try to come back in the playoffs to get injured in the playoffs. If that don't sound like Kawhi, who do? But I'll tell you what, I know one thing about Kawhi that Embiid ain't never done. And you can ask Embiid this. Even with injury, we've seen Kawhi put out Embiid, Ben Simmons, and the great Jimmy Butler. Let that sink in. You remember the shot. I remember the shot. I wish he was a Clipper when he made the shot. And we seen him raise that trophy. He was injured that year. Oh, y'all forgot? Y'all, that man right there, Kawhi, he was injured that year. So if anybody can go and win a ring, half of themselves, if God give him any ability to stand on that bum knee, Kawhi have done it. He did it with Kyle Lowry. He did it with Siakam, Van Fleet, against the Golden State Warriors. Now, we're going to end it on that note. Paul George, you've been exposed, sir. And Clip City, we ain't crying over you, bruh. The smiles over here. Yeah, we got some new additions coming to y'all, man. We got some new free agents over here in Clip City. And I'm going to break it down to you and let you know how I feel about the additions. I see good things in our future, baby. I see good things for Clip City, man. A lot of point of attack defenders out here coming the Clippers' way. And 3&D, I see you. I see what you're doing up there in the front office. Steve Ballmer. Come on, Lawrence Frank, you on the hot seat. Let him go for nothing. We'll deal with you later. But y'all enjoy the show, man. Don't forget, before you leave, man, make sure you comment. Let me know, man. I ain't perfect. I did something wrong, said something wrong. You want to hear something else? You want to make something better? You want to drop some content? Something you want to see next? Comment. Let me know. I engage. I read comments. Listen. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, baby. We having fun over here. Hope you love the content. Don't forget, subscribe. And we on up out of here, man. Let's